Hello, this is Jorge Monraz with medipred. This is a healthcare management application. This will be the last week of production and the final product. First of all, I want to show the UI of the application. This is a login form. It's connected to the Django database, which is this one. This is my project. And then in here, I have my PostgreSQL database, which in here I have a medipred database. So this one is connected to my Django, and then React consumes all of the Django HTTP request responses, and displays the information in the UI. Okay. So first of all, I want to show that in here we can log in as an admin. So for example, right here, if I don't set a password, this is going to tell me that I need to fill out the password. And also if I put the incorrect password or username, the system's going to tell me that there was an invalid field in there. So I'm just going to log in with my user. This is how users will log into the application. Right here I have different graphs which shows the diabetes risk analysis. So I have an analysis model in here, this one right here, which shows how many patients have risk of getting diabetes and how many have no risk of getting diabetes. Right here I have a pie chart which categorizes different ages on different categories. Okay. Also, we can also see the user we're currently logged in as and the email. Okay, and then we can also log out from the application like that. So I'm just gonna try to log in again to see that the session is no longer available. So I'm just gonna log in back, and then I want to show on the patients. This last week I made some improvements on the UI. There were bugs, there were some things that were not clear enough for the users. So when I run the testing with my two users, the usability testing, I got feedback that there were some areas that caused confusion, right? So for example, if we were to create a patient, there was no indicator that the patient was created. So what I added was a pop-up message. So let me show you. I'm just gonna put test in here to show what I did. And then 0101 1991, and then if I click save, then the system is gonna tell me that the patient was created, and if we look it up, it's gonna be right here, right? Also, another thing that I make was implementing a sorting algorithm in here. So right now is sorted by last name and then by first name. Okay, so you can see that this is sorted by last name. And then we can always reload the page to see that everything is displaying correctly in here. Also, I added a pop-up message for the edit. So if, let's say, I put a different name in there, I got a pop-up message in there. Okay, so the other thing that I improved in the app was also here on the diabetes analysis screen. There was no pop-up message at all. So I'm gonna show you if I add a patient and then look it up in here. Let's say this one, and then try to put some field left of required field in there blank. It's gonna tell me that I need to fill all the required fields, and also if I put all the required fields, it's gonna tell me that this analysis already exists, because if we look, it is right here, right? So let me try to do the one that I just did for test, and then let's say 21, 18, 17, and 30. Okay, so right here there wasn't any indicator as well that the analysis was completed. So if I click save, it's going to tell me analysis completed, and then you see it's going to be here. So this is calling the API again to show the information from the database. Also right here is also sorted by last name and then by first name. So I implemented a sorting algorithm in here. And then also the reloading button wasn't in here. Also for the edit button, there wasn't also any indicator that the analysis was successfully updated. So I added a pop-up a message in here. No, right now the application a user can log in and use it. You can perform the basic CRUD operations, and the main function of the app, which was creating patients in the system and then performing analysis for diabetes using a machine learning model, is completed. So I mean, the logic is there. The bugs were fixed. I fixed them during this week, so it was basically all in the backend. So if I go to my GitHub, you can see that I made pushes every day for 3 days straight, and then I added the sorting method, and then I cleaned some parts of the code. More code cleanup. This week was a lot of code cleanup and improving the features that were already in the application, because that was my main feature in the app. Getting a prediction, sorry, for an analysis of a patient having a risk of getting diabetes. So I improved that. And also I want to show right here, for example, on the diabetes screen, I use some use effect hooks, so to listen to the created pop-up, for example, and then show the created pop-up in the screen whenever the use effect was seeing that the created pop-up was true, right? And then it was setting that pop-up message to false, and then having a 2-second timeout to show the pop-up message on the screen for 2 seconds. Also in here, I have my, where is it? My sorting algorithm by alphabetic. So this is an algorithm to sort a list in here. So in here, this is where I call the API, and then I get a formatted data, which I formatted into a list. This is the information that I want to get from the API, not the full response, but this is what I want to show in my application. And then that formatted data is sent to the sort by alphabetic method, and then the sorted data is the one that is shown in here. Okay, so that's how it works. On my backend right here, I already showed this, but this is my machine learning model, and then I have all of my views in here, which calls the diabetes analysis, the address, different methods for the API to get information from the database. Also, I don't have it open, but let me open really quick my Trello board so you can see all my tasks. So in here, I don't have a lot in process because I didn't continue with the pending stuff, because this is new stuff that I can add to the application in the future. But the main functionality is here on the completed card. So I updated this mostly on a daily basis. So I work on a feature one at a time and then change it to completed. Lastly, I just want to say that I learned a lot from this project. I learned how to organize my code mostly, which is very important because at the beginning, since I didn't know React that well, it was very confusing to create reusable components and see where I could use that component again, right? And how could I make it reusable? And then also separating the screens of my application. So you see there's a lot of folders in here, which some of them are necessary, but that's how I learned it in the beginning. In the future, what I will do is to learn how to organize my project better, because if I want to scale it in the future, it's going to be very confusing for other people to look at my code, to be honest. So that's something that I want to improve. And one thing that went wrong is setting a local database. So this database is on my computer. So for example, if I want to try to access it from another computer, it's very difficult because I have to keep my computer power on, set some port on my network. So it's very difficult to access it remotely. So what I will do in the future is use a cloud database, right? Or something like that. That's something that I will change, because right now I cannot deploy my application to the cloud because I need to make some adjustments for my database, and then from my backend, because my backend is connected to my database. So that's something that I will change. And also the feedback from last week helped me a lot to understand the perspective of other users and how can I make my app more user friendly and more intuitive. So in here, I could, put some labels in here to show what each of these buttons do, sorry. Which, with the icons, it should be enough to understand what they do, but some labels in here will be nice, right? And that's all. This is my project, and thank you for watching this video.